is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you were new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. Today we are in the all-new 2019 Honda Passport, courtesy of Apple Honda in York, PA. And so with SUV sales going absolutely crazy in the US here, Honda has decided to bring back the Passport, which is going to be most definitely a very intelligent decision on Honda's behalf. And so it will be testing out everything about the Passport today. So as always, you guys, let's start with pricing. And so there will be several different trim levels for the 2019 Honda Passport. First one being the Sport, that starts at $31,990. Then you have the EXL for $36,410. Touring is going to start at $39,280. And lastly, the Elite, which is the one we have today, that one is going to start at $43,680. And I probably should also mention those first three trim levels up through the Touring, that pricing was for the standard front-wheel drive. If you are interested in all-wheel drive, as I suspect most customers will be, simply add $1,900 to any of those prices. But regardless of trim level, power plant on the Passport will be the same. Powering this one is going to be a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine, putting out 280 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, 262 pound-feet of torque available at around 4,700 RPM. Again, power is going to be sent to the front wheels or all wheels through a 9-speed automatic with paddle shifters, which you guys know we will be testing out a little later in the video here. But with all that put together, MPG numbers are going to come in at 20 in the city, 25 on the highway for the front-wheel drive, 19 city, 24 highway for the all-wheel drive. Before I do any kind of acceleration here, I did want to first mention there are traction management drive modes, and that button's going to be located right behind the drive button there. But I'm mentioning that because there is a ton of snow on the ground right now here in PA, and those traction management driving modes are going to give you a snow mode, sand, and a mud mode. And so essentially what those drive modes are going to do is adjust things like the throttle response and the torque delivery as well. And by the way, when it comes to that torque delivery, the Passport can send up to 70% of the torque to the rear wheels and 100% of the torque to either the left side or the right side. So that is definitely important with those off-road driving modes that we have there. But since I've mentioned some of those off-road specs there, I did want to also mention there's an additional 1.1 inches of ground clearance comparatively speaking to the Honda Pilot. So Passport is going to be more of an off-road vehicle. Maybe you live on a back road. Passport's definitely going to be helping you out there. But either way, I feel like testing out the paddle shifters right now. So you guys know what we have to do next. If I actually press that drive button one more time, that is going to give me that manual shift mode. So that is going to give me full control over the shifting here. And I think it is time. Let's do a quick little paddle shifter test here, and let's see how quickly they react for us. All of the snow just completely fell off the roof of this Passport. There is a slight delay to the paddle shifters. It's not too bad. Really, the paddle shifters are not so much for quicker shifts or acceleration or anything like that. I would expect they would be used for more along the lines of maybe some engine braking when it's snowy out or something like that. But there is a slight delay, but who's going to use the paddle shifters in an SUV anyways? Let's put it back in drive here and let's test out the acceleration on this one. Okay, yeah, definitely no issues with merging onto the highway. Actually, very nice acceleration in the Passport. But so as always, to go along with that acceleration, braking is equally important. And so up front, you will find 12.6-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 13-inch solid rear discs. And in my short drive today, definitely no issues with the braking feel. No brake pedal delay or anything like that, so that's nice. When it comes to suspension and handling, up front, you will find McPherson strut front suspension. In the back, a multi-link rear suspension. And you will have front and rear stabilizer bars as well. And as far as the steering feel goes, it does feel like an SUV, definitely not on the heavier side, but not too loose either. So it does feel pretty nice in the Passport. Ride quality has been excellent so far today, so definitely a very comfortable ride. A lot of times with quote-unquote off-road vehicles, you do have to sacrifice ride quality a little bit, but that's definitely not the case with the Passport. It is a very smooth ride, actually. And when it comes to cabin noise, once again, very much so on point in the Passport. And to go along with that, there is acoustic front glass if you go with the EXL trim level and up. And you also get acoustic glass front and rear doors. And that's going to be with the Touring and Elite trim levels. So that, of course, is definitely going to contribute to the quieter cabin on this one. And you can definitely tell. So all in all, when it comes to driving dynamics, I think Honda has really found a nice blend between those off-road capabilities and also on-road capabilities as well, just because it does ride smooth. There's very little cabin noise, and yet it does have the ground clearance and the driving modes that make it capable in most off-road situations. Not all, of course, because it's not going to give you those skid plates like maybe a Jeep Wrangler would, but yet it still does give you quite a bit for off-roading, so that's definitely nice. And so that when it comes to visibility, absolutely no issues in this one. There is a very large rear window back there, so I can definitely say visibility is very much so on point with the Honda Passport. But enough with the driving dynamics, you guys. Let's check out the exterior of this all-new 2019 Honda Passport. And so starting up front, comparatively speaking at least, when it comes to that front grille, it is going to be a more rugged looking front grille, at least compared to the Pilot. It's also going to be finished in black, where the Pilot's going to have some chrome bars across the front. But nonetheless, to the sides there are LED headlights that will come standard. They will come standard with the automatic feature as well, meaning when it starts to get dark out, they will turn on automatically for you there. Just below that, LED fog lights, and you will also get LED daytime running lights as well. Then make your way to the side. Roof rails are going to be found up top if you go with the Touring or Elite trim levels. Rear privacy glass is going to come standard for every single trim level. Also, gloss black power side mirrors will come standard. And if you wanted those side mirrors to be heated with LED integrated turn signals, simply go with the EXL trim level and up. Then take a look down at the wheel setup. 20-inch alloy wheels will come standard for every single trim level there. Then take a look around the back there. To the top, there is a rear spoiler with an integrated brake light. Just below that, a rear window wiper. Just below that, LED taillights, which will come standard on every single trim level. It's definitely nice. And just below all of it, dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips, so you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. And now, since we are around back, to open that rear hatch, there actually is a button on the key fob, so if you like, just simply press that. You will actually get a power tailgate if you go with the EXL trim level and up, and you will get a hands-free tailgate if you go with the Touring or Elite trim levels. Once opened up, cargo capacity is going to come in at 41.2 cubic feet behind that second row. If you needed some additional more space there is a 60-40 split, meaning those rear seats do fold down, and actually it was quite easy to put those rear seats down as well. It's just simply pressing one button and they fold down for you. But nonetheless, with those rear seats folded down, cubic feetness comes in at 77.9, so quite a bit of space there. And in that cargo area, you will also find grocery hooks. There's 4 tie-down anchors, and there's some underfloor storage as well if you wanted to conceal some items. But make your way to the second row legroom. That comes in at 39.6 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I have back there. Also, a big one for me I wanted to mention is integrated sunshades come with the EXL trim level and up. That's always important if you have a newborn in that second row, possibly. It keeps the sun out of their eyes. So that's there for the EXL trim level and up. Rear ventilation will also come standard back there, along with the rear center armrest with cup holders. And actually, if you go with the Touring or Elite trim level, those rear seats, they're also going to be heated as well. Definitely pretty nice there. But then make your way to the front seats. There is a 10-way power adjustable driver's seat with power lumbar. You will get a cloth finish if you go with that Sport trim level. However, if you go with the EXL trim level and up, those trim levels will come with a leather finish. EXL meaning leather, of course. And again, with those trim levels, those front seats will be heated, and if you go with the Elite trim level, those front seats will be ventilated for those super hot days as well. Then looking forward, there is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. It is leather wrapped for the EXL and up, and heated if you go with the Elite that we have today. Then when it comes to the startup, let me first start by showing you guys the key here. You do have your Honda logo on the one side, and when you flip it over, lock, unlock, and that button to pop the rear hatch, of course, but you will actually get a bright red push button start for every single trim level. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm simply just going to put my foot on the brake here and press that engine start button located just by the driver's right knee. And then once started up, engine temp is going to be on your left, fuel gauge is on your right, and there is a very nice digital gauge setup front and center. And to control what is on those gauges, simply use the steering wheel mounted controls on the left side there. But you do have your RPMs at the very top there. There is a fairly large digital readout too, and you can of course check out your trip information. There's going to be some warning indicators up there, like for instance right now I have low fuel. Of course the Passport's going to tell you that. You could also check out your Bluetooth information, who's calling you. There's actually your navigation readout up there as well. Check out your radio settings when you need your next oil change, and there's a couple other things as well up there. But then make your way to overall interior quality. You will find an overhead sunglass holder up top there. Tri-zone climate control actually comes standard on the Passport as well, meaning both driver, passenger, and the rear passengers can set their own temperatures. That's pretty cool. HomeLink garage door openers will come with the EXL trim level and up. You will also get white ambient LED lighting if you go with the Touring or Elite trim levels. And there's going to be a power moonroof with the EXL trim level and up. And another thing I liked about the Passport is there is a massive center console in the center here, so you can throw quite a bit in there. Also, another thing a little different with the Passport is rather than having a center armrest in the front there, they have individual smaller armrests for both the driver and passenger. It's not a bad thing, it's just a different thing. Usually it's just a standard center armrest that is shared between both the driver and the passenger. You're also going to get some gloss black finishes, which look like they may get dirty a little easier, but at the same time they look super easy to clean. So all in all, I'll take that as a plus as well. But now let's make our way to the tech display, because front and center there is an 8-inch high-resolution color touchscreen display that will come standard across every single trim level of the Passport. That's going to give you Bluetooth and audio streaming, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay, again for every trim level. Nonetheless, if you wanted a factory navigation system, that will come with the Touring and Elite trim levels. Elite trim is also going to give you a wireless phone charger as well, which is located just in front of the shifter there. And you can also check out your radio settings up on that colored touchscreen display. And by the way, when it comes to the sound system on the Passport, the standard setup for the Sport and EXL trim levels are going to give you 7 speakers with a subwoofer actually, and 215 watts. And if you go with the Touring or Elite trim levels, you are going to get 10 speakers with a subwoofer, including 540 watts. So, of course, we do have that 540 watt sound system today. So let's turn on the radio, see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Crazy amount of bass, holy cow, plenty of loudness, really more than enough of a sound system for the Passport. But then, so last thing I wanted to mention on the tech display at least is when you do put the Passport in reverse, you will find a multi-angle rear view camera with dynamic grid lines letting you know who or what is behind you, which is always going to lead me into safety. And so there will be front, side, and side curtain airbags as expected. In the back there is latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. Also back there, rear child door locks. A tire pressure monitoring system will also come standard, but every single trim level of the Honda Passport will also give you Honda Sensing, which includes collision mitigation braking system, road departure mitigation system, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, lane keep assist system, and adaptive cruise control as well. So definitely quite a bit of safety with that one. And if you go with the EXL trim level and up, you will also get that blind spot monitor with rear cross traffic alert. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.